This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, double check you're still subscribed to the channel, double check your notifications are on, and if you hit the like button, double check it's working properly, because these criminals are doing everything in their power to make sure more people don't become aware of all the fraud and corruption in the market. Listen, everybody in the United States of America who pays attention to the market knows that the biggest threat to the market is naked shorting, okay? And it was so bad in 2008 that they put all these new rules in place to stop the naked shorting. And all these criminals did was kept kicking the can down the road to stop the CAT system from being implemented, which was exposing the criminality in the market. Now, what they're trying to do, Atkins and the rest of the SEC board, they're trying to eliminate the CAT system altogether, even though it has been proven to expose the fraud and corruption. So if this is a tool that has been proven to expose the fraud and corruption, and now you want to eliminate it, what are you telling us? You're telling us that you don't want to expose the fraud and corruption. I mean, it's plain as day to anybody who's paying attention. And the less transparency we have, you end up with the naked shorting. You end up with the dog pool abuse. You end up with all the shenanigans that's going on in the market. Because if we've learned anything at all, is these criminals have no limit. They don't steal because they have to. They steal because they can. They don't need the money. It's an illness with them. Okay? It's an illness with them. And who is the victims of these crimes? Retail investors, pension funds, and the institutions that follow the rules. And eventually, you know who else? The taxpayers. Because when these criminals get caught, when the situation gets out of hand, they run to Congress for taxpayer-funded bailouts. If the SEC is so concerned about the fraud and corruption in the market, if the DOJ is so concerned about fraud and corruption in the market, if the FBI is so concerned about fraud and corruption in the market, they wouldn't want less transparency, because that's what Atkins is talking about. He's talking about less transparency. Hester Pierce talking about less transparency. What we need is full transparency in the United States stock market, because what full transparency will do, it will cut down the naked shorting, it will cut down the dog pool abuse, it will cut down the counterfeit shares. And they all know that's what full transparency is going to do, and that's why the bad actors don't want it. They claim they're smart money, they claim they're so intelligent. They are not. Because if they were so intelligent and they were so smart, why do they need to break the rules in order to make money? And one thing you guys always have to remember, the rules are bent in their favor. They created the rules. They created rules bent in their favor. And when they can't win on those rules, they break them. And then they ask the government to ignore what they're doing. They ask the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI to practice willful blindness while they rob and steal from retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules. Listen, you guys got to get these videos to your local politicians, your state politicians, and your federal politicians. They have to know that we want full transparency in our stock markets, and we want the bad actors held accountable. And that's why I am so glad that more and more CEOs are filing lawsuits against these criminals, because once we get our hands on the trading history, on the blue sheets, it's going to expose so much fraud and corruption that the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI are going to be shamed shamed into doing their job. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think the SEC should be moving towards less transparency? Or should they be moving towards more transparency to end the fraud and corruption? Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.